Hey everybody! Okay, so I am live with you today, wanting to show you how I recommend covering acne spots, circles under your eyes, dark spots, sunspots, whatever else it is, just to get some really good full coverage, but without things looking cakey, and also while kind of having makeup that's going to last throughout the day. I get a lot of questions about covering up dark under eyes and acne spots and things like that. So I'm really excited today. If you're getting on here, make sure you say hi. And if this is your first time watching, make sure that you say hello as well. Introduce yourself. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching today. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want to go through this quickly and show you that this is a really simple thing. I don't do this every day. For those of you who've been following me for a while, know that I've been really dealing with a lot of acne, especially last year. I can't see comments, so if anybody's dropping on here, if you want to comment, that'd be awesome. Just want to make sure that I'm viewable and hearable and all those types of things. I'm having some trouble with my internet lately. Anyway, okay, so I will have this video available on YouTube, along with my other videos. So if you are watching from YouTube, say hi also. Okay, so I have the first thing that I want to talk about is prep. For me, when I've been breaking out and when I've had lots of problems with acne, and needing a more full coverage, or when I'm just really trying to get a nice flawless look, like I said, I don't do this every single day. Most of the time, my regular foundation's pretty good about covering stuff up. Hi, Anna. And so for me right now, though, I have a nice little breakout, and I just thought I would kind of go into that. I also have some good dark circles, and I have some redness and some discoloration here. So I'm just going to go over that. If you want to share, that would be awesome. Like, comment. Thanks again for watching. Okay, so I'm going to dive right in. What's really important for me when I'm dealing with acne, especially, is where I'm going to start, is making sure that your skin is really, really hydrated. So I use a very, very emollient cream every night before I go to bed. And there's a couple different ones that you can try. I can link one if you're interested, but this one that I use, it's from Mary Kay. It's an extra emollient night cream, and I use that when I have really bad acne. I know that kind of seems like maybe an oxymoron for people because lots of times they have oiliness and they have acne, but lots of times your skin is trying to tell you that it needs more moisture, and that's why you're so oily. And so you're really getting those deep, like painful blemishes. Lots of times that's your skin's cry for more moisture. So certainly not for everybody, but try that out. I like to use that. That also really helps with my makeup application because then my skin is really smooth, and I feel like I don't get that dry crustiness around my blemishes, okay? So instead of me going in and using all of these like tons of color correcting products and things like that, my favorite products, which are mascara, makeup, these highlights have color correcting in them. They're different types of, there's different colors, and so there's definitely one for you, but you can mix, you can match, you can put things down beforehand or not. So a couple of tricks when you're covering acne. The first one is going to be, there's really two options when you're covering up spots. And the one option is to try to put enough on that you cover it up. And the other option is to try to color correct and try to basically make the color come closer to your normal natural color so it doesn't stick out so much. Obviously, I'm very fair naturally, and I have very, very pale skin, and so having just even a little bit of blemishes around on my skin is going to really stick out a whole lot. So I kind of have two options. I have those two options, which most people have. I also have a pretty fair neck. Most people, their neck is going to be lighter than their face, just kind of the shadow there and everything else. So you really want to, if I'm going to bring my skin closer to the discoloration, then I'm going to have to worry about my neck and all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of options. One of the options that I like to use, this is a huge quick fix, is I like to use a airbrush spray tan in a can. And that's going to help basically, like I said, bridge that gap between the really red or the really dark or the really patchy, and then also bring that down to where like I can then kind of just highlight stuff a little bit better. So it's going to bridge that gap a ton, and you'll hardly be able to see anything after that. I'm not going to do that today because I want to do, that's really, really simple though. But I can also do that if I feel like my neck isn't matching. I'll just spray my neck. This is just, it has a little bit of a tan in it. So it'll immediately tan, and then it'll also give you like a good buildable tan as well. So part of it rinses off, it's like a bronzer. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I'll just go ahead and spray that normally down, and then I can throw my makeup on really quickly, especially if I'm not feeling like I'm want to go through all of that acne coverage. But for those of you who feel like you do want to go through the acne coverage, or you don't want to have to deal with a spray tan and things like that, then we're going to talk really fast about color correcting. So there's definitely a nice thing, like you can go and you can buy, I've gotten before red color correcting, like, gosh, what's it called? Like concealers, green concealers and things like that. And those are nice to be able to color correct with them. However, lots of times it's such a strong color, like such a dark green. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for saying hi. If you guys are on here watching live, make sure you say hi. And if you're watching the replay, say replay. And if at any time you want to know more about the makeup and products and things like that, I'm going to link them, but you can also ask me for a free color match anytime, okay? Just message me. Okay, so this one is a highlight that you can see. It is more green, and it has more of a green tint to it. And so the nice thing about this is that it is a highlight color. Instead of it just being straight up green, let's show the normal color that I normally wear when I'm this fair, and then this one compared to it. So you can see this one is Moonlit and this one is June, and it already has some color correction in it. So that is really nice because I'm not taking full on green and trying to bring my face back to that and using a whole ton of layers. So the reason why you use green is that green cancels out red. And then like if you have like purple and under eye, something that's more yellow is going to help with that. And that redness. Now, lots of people think that they have a lot of redness. Lots of times it's kind of a purple color under your tone, just mixing with that peach that we naturally have. Most people have that natural peachy beige color. So be careful with the color correcting concealers because it's just adding layers and steps. I'm just going to take the end of this brush and I'm just going to lightly go like that. And you can see how much of a difference that already made. I'm not going for like a full on like huge concealed spot there. It's just that this spot is particularly red and it's flat. When you have texture, there's really not much you can do about texture. I'm just going to lightly touch a couple of these other red spots. There's not much you can do about texture, unfortunately, but when you're dealing with the redness and the discoloration, that's kind of the nice thing. And again, keeping really hydrated and doing tapping. If you're going to keep putting on products, it's really important to just tap and press those products into the skin rather than going in and sweeping and swiping, because you're just going to kind of wipe off everything that you did. Now, as you can tell, those are not my color at all. So I'm going to want to put something over top of it. But then I'm also going to go in, and for those of you who have really dark circles, I'm going to look down like this so you can see how dark my circles actually are. They're pretty dark. The key with color correcting dark circles is, for starters, when it comes to under eye, less is more, you guys. I can't stress that enough. Also, not having something that super duper cakes under your eyes, because everything's going to crease. Absolutely everything, no matter how you set it. However it goes, there are great concealers out there, great under eye concealers, and I still will get, I've tried everything and I've used everything on everybody, and I still get that creasing. So it's just natural. As we talk, as we smile, as we make expressions, it's going to continually crease. So the best recommendation I can use for you is to use a cream, because the creams can be reset very gently, and then they'll just kind of move with your skin. Okay, so I'm going to take this very yellow color, and I'm also going to use this nice, actually I'm going to use my finger with this. If you're going to use something like a brush, like I said, again, make sure it's a stippling brush. And if you're going to use a, if you're going to use like I wouldn't use a beauty blender or something like that, okay? So I'm going to take this yellow and I'm going to put this on my eye, but I'm only going to put it right on, that's just a teeny tiny bit, you guys. I'm only going to put it right on the actual spot that's purple. Because if I go in and I go down here, all that I'm doing is going to make that line, that really strong line that I have there, more visible. So now I'm going to press that in, that little spot that I have. Can use a brush for this. But again, it's all that tapping. Thank you. That was my timer. Okay, so going in here on this side very gently with that really yellow. This one is called Sunlit. And getting that bright under there. Okay. And it's very yellow looking. It can look a little bit scary, but it is a wonderful color, especially if your under tones are very blue, very purple, very cool toned, okay? So now I'm going to go in and I still want to cover, again, my skin's, I want to keep my skin hydrated and dewy without going, if I'm going to go dry, that's just going to like matte, that's just going to really accentuate all of my pores and all of my acne and the spots and the dryness around all the spots that I have, okay? But if I want to go, if I go too like, what's the word? If I go too illuminating with my foundation, then it's going to, everybody knows that illumination and that shiny, that sheen, really shiny look is going to accentuate your pores also. So you really want a middle of the road, something that's really hydrating. So again, creams, especially when you're using coverage like this for dark circles or for under eye and everything else. So now I'm going to go in with this color, which is Moonlit. And I'm using a brush that I can stipple with. This is called the Detail Hack brush. And I use this for the blemishes, and then I used this side here for stippling on my regular foundation. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to press over that spot. And I'm getting the full coverage look because I'm pressing in, okay? So looking at that, that really erases those lines, but it's just a tiny, tiny bit, okay? So now I'm going right over top of all of that redness and the acne that I had. You can still see a little spot there. And hey guys, thank you so much for joining. If you like this video, you can share. And like I said, I'm going to put this up on the tube also. So I'll link that for you. All right. So just stippling everything on. Again, if you are dealing with darkness, redness, all of that kind of stuff, patchiness, using a foundation that has color correcting in it already, like this is great. And sometimes you have to go in with a darker color, like I said, to just kind of bridge that gap and then go over it again. I'm going to swipe these comments so I can see. And I know I'm still looking pasty right now and I haven't really blended any of this in. Okay. So now I'm going to start, that I kind of did like highlighting right there. Now I'm going to start contouring and blending. Now, I so often get acne right here in basically my contour line. And so it's really, really tricky make sure that's why. I'm like, why is that color a little bit different? That was white peach. Sorry, guys. That's what I use to kind of cover up. So white peach is a little bit dark for me, as you can see, but I use it to kind of cover up all the redness on, and then I'm going to bring it out where I'm really going to highlight my face. So I'm going to do the contouring now. I'm going to use this brush again. And this one, I'm going to do my contour here. All right, so it's super important when you are, like I said, when you're contouring. Where is it? Sorry. Okay, when you're contouring, to make sure that if you are like me and you are acne prone right in here, that you're just setting your contour. Again, you're gonna want to use a cream because you don't wanna take that brush and be buffing all over your face and really just wipe off everything that you just did, okay? So this contour here is ash, and I'm just tapping, 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 and getting my contour in. And then I'm gonna come down here. Again, I still need to blend, so pay no mind to my lines. And then I'm going to come up here. And it is tricky when you have blemishes in your contour line. So I'm not really going to worry about this one up on my forehead today because my hair is covering that. And then I'm just going to kind of leave everything unblended so you can see. Okay. So the only tricky part is that if you're going to put on like bronzer and you're really going to go, again, if you have all of that acne and spots all over your, the spot where you're going to be blending, just don't do it. Don't go there, because every little brush stroke that you have is going to take it off of those corrected spots. Okay. So you really don't want to do any blending like this or any sweeping like that. So now I'm going to really illuminate my under eye area and bring everything a lot closer to my neck color. Okay. This color is, where is it? This color here is Moonlit. Obviously, I'm dipping right in the pan here. And I'm going to get this on this brush. It's really soft, and I'm just going to set that right here. And I'm not going right under the eye again. I really don't want to collect all of that product, okay? But this is going to brighten everything up and just bring it closer to my neck color and really get that highlight look. And see, it really like just wipes out all of that color correcting, and you really can't see anymore all of those spots that I went over. And I'm just brightening up the triangle of light here. Kind of blending it, letting it all meld together is super important. Okay, so now for this contour area, I'm going to go in here since I don't have any, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? Acne in there. I'm going to be fine to put on some bronzer today. Again, I'm still using cream because I think it's really important to use that to keep your skin looking really hydrated and nourished and nice, especially if you're battling with discoloration and acne, okay? So I'm going to use this to kind of help me blend out these spots here, but then also to help me bring my neck to a darker color so that my foundation being darker than my neck doesn't look so off. This is a cream bronzer. It's called Bella, and I love it so much. It doesn't have any shimmer. It's very sheer. Perfect for so many skin tones. And I just tap it with this brush like this. And then I'm gonna blending it into my contour area. Again, if I was trying to cover this, I couldn't brush over it because it will just take off everything. Okay, so I'm not gonna go over this here with a swirling motion. I'm just tapping in like that with this. I'm acting like it's powder. Tap, tap, have it. Okay, you guys, I hope that helps. Again, if you have just a dark line there on your under eye, just put that light color right on that dark line. Look at how much better my under eye area looks. Look at how much more even and natural. I keep doing that, and then I have this little blemish here. How much more even and natural everything looks, and how I'm just gonna get that really good, really flawless coverage. Thank you, my assistant. Okay, and then also I think, oh, and then I was just gonna say, when setting, I do not set with a powder. If I'm setting with a powder, I'm just asking for everything to just get really super caked on. Oh, and lastly, if you have a little blemish or whatever that you want to cover up, that you accidentally uncovered, or if you want even more coverage on those types of things. Oh, someone's curious about the palette or the tin. Please message me if you have any questions, or just comment makeup and I will get to you. This is the palette that I use. This is my artist palette though, so it's humongous, and I keep all of my colors in this 3 layers. I have a 2-layer, a 1-layer, and then I also have some smaller ones. So I have like the personal size ones, and they come free. So just message me about that. Let's go on this one. I mean, it doesn't really need it, but touching it with a cream product after like that is going to keep it really hydrated and keep it looking like a more natural coverage. And then I can go in it, and I'm not, like I said, I am not going to set this with a powder that's just going to get it really crusty looking. So this is how I just banish all of that redness, under eye circles, less is more, 100%. And then also any discoloration. Okay, and the spray tan that I used today, that I showed you today, is called Tomas, and that is, I just get it from Sally Beauty. It's like $18 or something like that. I'm just gonna pop some Frenchie on here, and I'm good to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, if you'd share, that would be awesome. I'm gonna put the whole thing up on YouTube so it can be watched. I'll link that later, and I'm gonna go finish my eye makeup and get my kids. So I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.